ministers, ambassadors, other government officials, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm honored to be present in this inspiring gathering we call the Somali Partnership Forum. After a very trying and demanding year for all those around the world, there has never been a better time to meet together as one. This forum is a platform where we can collaborate closely, reflect, and celebrate the achievement made thus far, as well as address the major challenges facing the Somali people. Since I came to office, Puntland has achieved much in short time. We have focused on building the institutional capacity of governmental agencies in order to enhance public service delivery. We have also engaged in structural reforms, such as in the security and justice sector, as well as improving the capacity of all our civil servants. These developments are in line with our efforts to continuously strengthen our public financial management system in all areas, so that government can be relied upon as a transparent, accountability service provider for all citizens. No challenge has seemed greater in recent time than the COVID-19 crisis, which has affected millions around the globe. Puntland has experienced multiple setbacks, such as pandemic, natural disasters, and locust invasion, all at the same time. The public health measures that have been put in place in Puntland in order to contain COVID-19 spread, such as social distancing and temporary shutdown of businesses, has dramatically weakened the economy. The increase in the state inflation rate is an example of the worsening economic situation. The ongoing locust invasion has threatened to completely obliterate the already fragile food security system, destroying crops and pastures. Having tackled previous flooding, which have severely damaged the infrastructure of towns, we are now in the midst of another humanitarian crisis. The cyclone Gati, which has caused fatalities and casualties, destruction of road and livelihood in Bari, Karkar, and Gardafour region. Among other key challenges is managing the process of inclusive elections. This process was initially designed based on universal suffrage, one person, one vote, electoral model for the 2020-2021 Somali elections. However, due to circumstances, it was agreed that the most appropriate and alternative electoral model should be conducted in the form of indirect election. These general election principles were discussed and agreed upon by FGS and FMS leaders at the Political Consultative Conference in Lusamareb 1, 2, 3, and later in Mogadishu consultative meeting. In all of these consultative meetings mentioned, all stakeholders agree upon an electoral model based on a specific process and procedure, as well as identifying the location in which the election will be held. The political agreement have been an important and encouraging step toward a more unified approach. But make no mistake, agreements on the technical principles of election must go hand in hand with preserving the integrity of electoral process as whole, such as upholding political inclusivity, widening access to political participation, maintaining transparency and independence, and finally, safeguarding the electoral process from any kind of interference and unnecessary infringement. Your Excellencies, to build on from the progress made in Samareb in 1 and 2 and 3 and Mogadishu, these electoral values and principles must be endorsed and upheld as a priority from the upcoming election. In light of this, I would like to draw your attention to this following number of pressing concerns. Firstly, some of election management committee members do not meet the selection minimum agreed criteria, which worries some Somali political stakeholders. Secondly, in the agreement reached between federal governments of Somalia and federal member states, Somaliland Electoral Committee members were to be selected based on consultation process by all Somaliland political stakeholders, while fully engaging with the Upper House Speaker, Honorable Abdi Hashi, in the process. Nevertheless, this agreement was not fulfilled. Finally, as we all know, Gather region is a part of Jubaland state. Therefore, Jubaland has the full legal authority to manage the election that will take place in Garbahari district without any political and military intrusion, as in the case in all other federal member state election locations. Indeed, this concerns both significant barrier to holding fair and free election. And I would like to put forward the following recommendations as a way forward. In order to hold timely election, it's imperative that we, federal member states and federal government Somali leaders, meet as soon as possible to address these mentioning concerns and speed up the electoral process. Second, the Somaliland Election Committee membership should be reviewed in line with the consensus of the key political Somaliland leaders, including the Upper House Speaker, Honorable Abdi Hash. Federal government Somalia should withdraw its military presence from the Garbahari district in order for the Jubaland state to hold elections in credible and transparent manner. Electoral Management Committee members should be confirmed only once they have met the agreed minimum electoral membership criteria, which is clearly stated in the agreed electoral procedure for 2020-2021. Your Excellencies, after having laid out Puntland's key concern and recommendations for holding free and fair election, I would like to conclude my speech with few important issues regarding matters relating to resource sharing and discussion relating to the constitutional review process. Puntland government welcome the notion that the natural resources of Somalian nation are explored and benefited from by following a legal agreement that clearly define matters of ownership, administration, and resource sharing model. to prevent disputes or conflicts that arise in relation to resource exploration. However, Puntland is concerned regarding the recent decision made by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum and Mineral Resources on the issuance of Puntland exploration licenses, petroleum licenses, without an agreed legal framework. Puntland views this as a rash decision which does not serve the interest of Somali people. Regarding the constitutional review process, Puntland government declared that up to now, state delegates who are selected to be members of the Independent Constitutional Review and Implementation Committee have not been allowed to join this committee. This clear violation of the constitutional article 134, clause 2 of provisional federal constitution. Due to this election time, it is not possible to negotiate the politically contentious articles, which included power and resource sharing, capital status, judiciary, and electoral model and physical federalism. We reiterate to all stakeholders to postpone the constitutional review process until after election process has been completed in order to provide sufficient time and full consultation. Your Excellencies, I extended my sincere thanks to the international community for their continued and unwavering support in Somalia endeavor to tackle its biggest obstacles in the developing a fair, free, and stable society. 2 years ago, when I began my search for President of Puntland, I believed that we will reach a united and consultative decision-making model which include the voices, concerns, and experience of all corners of Somali political spectrum. This vision remains a hope till now, and I'm confident we will reach this in the very near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, President Saeed Abdullah Deni, President of Puntland State. Just a little bit correction. We will have meeting the federal member states and the federal government of Somalia after my trip to Growe and Somalia, inshallah. So now I would like to welcome on the floor the President of the Galmudug State, Ahmed Abdi Kariye. Please, welcome.
مدن رئيس الوزراء madaxweynayaasha dowladaha xubnaha ka ah dowladda federaalka wakiilka u qaabilsan arrimaha Soomaaliya qaramada midoobay wasiirada dowladda federaalka ee Soomaaliya safiirada beesha caalamka iyo dhammaan ka soo qaybgalayaasha madashan waxaan leeyahay maalin wanaagsan mudanayaal iyo marweyn salaan kadib mudan ra'iisul wasaare mudanayaal iyo marweyn waxay noo tahay madashani fursad aad iyo aad muhiim u ah ummadda Soomaaliyeed ay ku soo bandhigto ama looga faa'iideysto jaanisyadan muhiimka ah ama howlaha hor yaalla waxaan rabnaa inaan uga hadalno arrimaha hortabinta leh ee muhiimka ah Galmudug mudanayaal iyo marweyn waxay soo martay waqtigii koobnaa xaalado kala duwan iyada oo dowladda iyo shacabka reer galmudug oo iskaashanaya ay la yimaadeen dadaal runtii aad iyo aad u fara badan oo arrimaha dhexdoodana tallaabooyin horumar leh hore loo qaaday oo waqti kooban lagu gaaray kadibna dowladda iyo dadka reer galmudug ay isu taageen arrimaha Soomaaliya gaar ahaan arrimaha doorashooyinka 2021 taasoo runtii muhiimad gaar ah lahayd kuna soo aaday waqti baahi badan ay Soomaaliya u qabtay in arrimaha doorashooyinka laga gaaro heshiis dowladda iyo dadka reer galmudug waxay ka geysteen gacan lama ilaawaan ah Dusmareeb 1, 2 iyo 3 oo ay ka soo baxeen go'aamadii dhaxalgalka ahaa ee horseeday ama lagu gaaray aan rabaa halkaan inaan uga mahad celiyo dadka reer galmudug kaalintii ay qaateen iyo dadaalkii ay bixiyeen iyo guushii ay Soomaali horseedeen inaan idhaahdo aad iyo aad baa Soomaali dhan idinkaga mahad celisay idinkagana mahad celinaya arrimaha doorashada sidaan hore u sheegnay dadaalkii la soo bixiyey mirihii ka soo baxay waxay noqdeen in heshiis arrimaha doorashooyinka galmudug waxay ku shaqaynaysaa u taagan tahay in la dhowro la hirgeliyo lagu shaqeeyo doorashadana ku dhacdo heshiiskii doorasho ee la gaaray dhaqan wanaagsan waxa ahayd in 4 sanaba mar la galo doorasho waqtigeedii ku dhacda xor ah xalaal ah marba ku timaada sidii laga badi waayo ama sidii lagu heshiiyo heshiiska doorashada waxaan ku faraxsannahay in lagu dhaqaaqay fulintii heshiiska iyo gelintii doorashada galmudug waxay qabtaa ku shaqaynaysaa caddaynaysaa in la dhowro lagu shaqeeyo heshiiskii ma jiro dhinac la dhaafay ama dhinac heshiiska ka maqan ama dhinac heshiiska qabiyo wax uga jiraan wixii heshiiska ka baxsan waxay galmudug qabtaa in lagu shaqeeyo waxaa galmudug ka go'an inay mar labaad door shariifa ka geysato habsami u socodka doorashooyinka iyo hirgelinta heshiiskii doorashada iyo turxaan bixinta iyo iska qancinta tabashooyinka jira waana runtii waajibaadna saaran horena aan qaybtiisii hore uga soo qayb qaadanay nala wada wax walba oo heshiiska ama doorashada caqabad ku keeni kara inay doorashada aan taabagelinteeda iyo habsami socodkeeda iyo hufnaanteeda ka wada shaqayno waana ku shaqaynaynaa inuu heshiiskii doorashadu ku dhacdo tabashooyinkana la iska qanciyo sidoo kale dhammaan islinaysaa oo ay ka mid tahay kootada dumarka iyo ka qayb qaadashada siyaasadda loo dhan yahay dhammaan mar labaad iyo mar saddexaad waxaan ku celinayaa tabashooyinka oo dhan inaan ku xallisano heshiiska gudihiisa iskuna qancino la iskuna qaato la iskuna tanasulo arrimaha doorashooyinku inay si guul ku dhamaadaan mudanayaal iyo marweyn waxaad ogtihiin muddooyinkan dambe runtii galmudug waxay isugu tagtay in ay ka hor istaagto isku day kasta oo argagixisadu ay ku soo qaadaan deegaanada galmudug iyo deegaano kale oo aan galmudug hayn si aanay ugu gudbin dhibaatadooda deegaanka bacadweyn inay weerar ku soo qaadeen argagixisadu kaas oo ay ka hortageen ciidamada amniga iyo bulshada reer bacadweyne oo iskaashanaya runtiina ay halkaa lagu geystay jab weyn anigoo halkaa uga mahad celinaya reer bacadweyn oo door taariikhiga ka geystay la dagaalanka argagixisada weerarada guuldaraystay waa badan yihiin oo argagixisadu ay soo qaadeen waxaa ugu dambeeyeysa bacadweyn iyo beesha caalamka inay galmudug gacan ka siiyaan sidii looga xoray lahaa deegaanada ay galmudug kaga sugan yihiin argagixisada gacan dhinacyo badan leh oo weliba taxadir gaara leh sida in laga kaalmeeyo dhaqaalaha farsamada iyo dhammaan howlaha fududeynaya la dagaalanka argagixisada ra-iisul wasaare mudanayaal iyo marweyn laga xoray lahaa argagixisada gaar ahaana looga xoray lahaa galmudug garabka iyo gacanta ay u baahan tahayna way rajeynaysaa inay ka hesho dhinacyada oo dhan mudan ra-iisul wasaare mudanayaal iyo marweyn arrimaha dhaqaalaha runtii galmudug waxaa ku jirtay ama ay la timid qaab iyo hanaan dhaqaale oo hufan oo dhinacyo badan runtii laga ka horumarsan ama laga hagaajiyey oo hay-adaha maaliyaddu ay runtii ka gaareen guulo waaweyn waxaa dhibaato ba'an runtii hadda waxaa ugu darsamay oo deegaanada dhibaato fara badan ku haya ayax oo runtii keenay dhibaatooyin waaweyn geystay oo naafeeyey dhulbeereedkii daaqii deegaanada galmudug runtii horumarka iyo dadaalka caqabadaha ku yimid dhinaca maaliyadda waxaa weeye cudurkan covid meelo badan ka curyaamiyey iyo ayaxa sida kale kaabayaasha dhaqayaad loo hormariyey waxay keentay in guulo la taaban karo laga gaaro waxaan rabaa in soo kabashada iyo guulaha arrimaha dhaqaalaha si gaar ah iyo adkeynta hay-adaha dhaqaalaha annagoo runtii meel fiican ka soo gaarnay gacanta ku habboonana laka siiyo dhammaan waxaan rabaa inaan uga dardaarmo dhinacyada oo dhan in aad iyo aad in lagu kala duwanaadana lagu aan ku xallisano isu tanazul iyo dhowrista heshiiskii hirgelinta heshiiskii doorashada ku dhacdo sidii horeyba ay gacan nooga siin jireen arrimaha doorashooyinka iyo guud ahaan arrimaha soo mahadcelinaya madasha kasoo qaybgalka iyo doodaha lagu soo bandhigay iyo sida loogu cabiray danaha iyo maslaxada madashan.
aad iyo aad ayaad u mahadsan tahay madaxweyne Axmed Cabdi Kaariye. Welcome to the floor. Mr. Salah Ahmed Jama, Minister of Constitutional Affairs of Federal Government of Somalia.
Mr. Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, partners from the international community, greetings to you all. I think this SPF is unlike the last one. We are operating in an era of COVID, and we're in that front. Indeed, the Prime Minister and also the President and Ambassador James Wan have alluded to the centrality of inclusive politics in our effort to rebuild the Somali state. In my remarks, I would like to highlight that we as the federal government do see inclusive politics at the center of everything we do, whether it is trying to attain the sustainable development to any other region, or lack of services in many parts of Somalia. Those are symptoms and manifestation of political issues that need to be resolved. And I think the most important, I begin by saying that if we are going to talk about inclusive politics, we must talk about the institutionalization of inclusive politics, starting and rigorously work on the finalization of the constitutional review process. That is the independent commission, the oversight committee states on more than 2 different occasions. In the last 2 months, we have visited Baydhabo, Chowher, and Galmudug to both consult with the different government institutions, the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, and also the intellectuals and the civil society. As we get to the final stages of finalizing the technical aspects of the constitutional review process. As you all know, the constitutional review process is consisting of a technical process where we resolve technical issues, non-contentious issues, and deliberation on contentious issues and public outreach. On the 2 fronts of technical issues and non-contentious issues and public outreach, we have recorded significant gains. And we are glad to report that at a technical level, both the 3 institutions agree that it has been finalized. What remains for the constitutional review process is decisions that are to be taken on a set of issues that are not more than 10. Most fundamentally, starting with Article 54, which talks about power sharing between the federal government and the federal member states. In the absence of agreement on that, all other interim ad hoc arrangements, such as the basis on which the electoral model was agreed upon, are only temporary in nature, and they cannot be institutionalized. So at this current moment, we are at a stage where we have been sitting with both the speakers of the upper house and the house of the people, and we will be sitting down with the ad hoc committees to allow the parliament to take stock of and safeguard the technical achievements that have been made, and we remain committed to resolving the political contentious issues provided that the federal member states show enough appetite for this process. As you all know, some of them have, as some of them have alluded to here, they prefer postponing these contentious issues to a later mandate. So the constitution is not something that the federal government can just push on its own and go on. It is going to be a product of political deliberations and negotiations, and hopefully those things can be achieved in the coming year. I would like to leave my remarks about the constitution to that and perhaps talk about the elections in a very brief manner. The electoral process can be divided into 3 different phases: the negotiation, on the political settlement, the legality of that process, and the implementation. I'm not going to dwell on the great deal of efforts that have been invested in Dusa Mareb on 3 different occasions and Muqdisho. What was agreed upon there is a political settlement in which a very limited number of actors agree on how elections are going to be held. That has been taken to the parliament, and the parliament in a joint session has endorsed that process. Of course, for the champions of democracy in Somalia and those that want to advance democratic credentials, it is not the best of outcomes, because many would think that we are having a deja vu moment of 2016 with some minor improvements. So while it might not be meeting the ideal credentials of a one-person, one-vote scenario, it does meet an important criteria in contemporary Somali politics, which is the need to reach decisions on a consensus basis. So we went for consensus over advancement of participation and democratic process. Currently, we are at a stage where a political settlement has been reached, a legal endorsement has been provided by the parliament. Hello? Yeah. We have an election implementation bodies, the feet and the seats. So at the federal level, that body has been formed, and they have elected their leadership, they're undergoing training, and they're preparing themselves to hold the elections and work on key aspects of the implementation phase, including ensuring the 30% quota for women. At the state level, about finalized. I think we are at a stage now where we are getting into implementation phase, and the remaining any technical contentious issues can be resolved through political dialogue. That's where elections stand. On the federalism front, we have our election in Hirshabelle. There are reconciliation processes happening in Beledweyne and other cities. The Minister of Interior is now in Beledweyne attending to processes down there. So that would be my remarks for now.
Thank you, Minister Salah Ahmed Jama. Now, I would like to welcome on the floor Ms. Hanifa Mohammed Ibrahim, Minister of Women and Human Rights Development.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Your Excellency, Prime Minister, and Deputy Prime Minister, Ministers, State Presidents, Ambassadors, partners, and colleagues. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Very good morning to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here at the Somali Partnership Forum as the Minister of Women and Human Rights Development, a ministry with an important mandate to advance gender equality, women empowerment, the promotion and protection of human rights in Somalia. In the mutual accountability framework and the partnership principles, the ministry has ensured that human rights and gender equality are the heart of these frameworks. I would like to stress that the protection of human rights and gender equality is the core and foundation of the 2021 Multiple Accountability Framework. Is it okay now? I'm sorry, I had some technical problem. I'm honored to be here at the Somali Partnership Forum as the Minister of Women and Human Rights Development, a ministry with an important mandate to advance gender equality, women empowerment, the promotion and protection of human rights in Somalia. The mutual accountability framework and the partnership principles the ministry has ensured that human rights
uga baxdo barnaamijka anoo nagis waxba ka baqaynin aqoon ana u leh inaad tago